The January 6th committee has finally released their final report, 845 pages, and all the evidence that supports it. Over the coming weeks, as people pour through this thing, we are going to hear quite a number of revelations. We're going to see some surprises. But for what little we know now, there is one big surprise. There is the star of the January 6th hearings, a young woman who testified, and we all watched it on television. But when we watched it, we had no idea how brave and how credible this young woman was. She worked as an assistant to Mark Meadows in the Trump administration. She was in the thick of it, but she was only 26 years old. Now, when this all came down with the January 6th committee, they said, "We'd like to talk to you." And what happened immediately? Well, the Trump group got her a lawyer, paid for the lawyer. But she was smart. She said, I don't know if I like that. It's funny, none of the older people in the administration saw the problem here, but she did. She said to her mom, she says, by taking this lawyer, I am fucked. If I take their money, then I'm obliged to lie for them. And this woman, as much as she's a Republican, she didn't want to lie. Her lawyer, paid for by this Trump supporting group, told her, just say you don't recall. You don't recall. They don't know what you don't recall. And she said, what if I do recall? Wouldn't it be perjury if I said I don't recall? He told her no, which is a lie. It is perjury. And she was smart enough to figure that out. So she decided to get rid of the Trump lawyer and get one of her own, except she didn't have any money. She went to her folks who are big Trump humpers. They weren't going to help. So she was confused. She was upset. She took a note from Alexander Butterfield back in the Watergate days. He was in a similar situation. He chose to be honest and tell the truth, and he was the hero of the Watergate hearings. Now, I don't think she was worried about being the hero of the J6 hearings. She just wanted to survive. She was worried about her future. My God, she's 26 years old. She'd like to get another job. And she saw that lying for a losing team was not going to benefit her. So she stood up and she spoke out and she spoke her mind. Her lawyer is probably going to lose his law license and maybe go to jail for trying to convince her to commit perjury. We owe a lot of debt to Cassidy Hutchinson. Very smart, very credible young woman with a lot of integrity.